Hey everyone, today we're gonna be doing a lead code question which is find all duplicate number in the array. So we have given some number of length n, you can say array of number of length n, and that number can go from range like 1 to n. So if there is an n size array, the number can go from 1 to n, both are inclusively. They say like there will be two type of category, number will be coming once and number will be coming twice. So whatever is coming twice, we need to return that part. If you see the example, this one 4, 3, 2, 7, 8, and 2, 3, 1. So number 4, 7, 8, and 1 is coming once, and number 2 and 3 are is coming twice. So we need to return whatever is coming twice in this array, we need to return. So if we simply say the constant, they say the size of an array can go from minimum 1 number to 10 to the power 5 number. The number inside that array can go from 1 to n, both are inclusively, and you can see this same thing like number can appear once or twice. So we'll simply see how to do this problem. We'll see multiple approaches. So I have used the same example. This is an our array which is given in the example. With the very basics of brute force approach, what we can say, like we can compare, like we can see, take this number and see if it is coming twice in this array or not. So I'll take this number, I'll iterate over the array. I'll take this number, you can say I am iterating twice. For taking one element, I use one loop. Another loop, I'll do comparison. Okay, go and see how many you are coming. So number 4 is coming only once. Number 3, go and check how many times you have came. So they say like, okay, I have came twice. Number 2 and go see and how many times you came. So this is coming twice. Number 7 will go and see, no, it is coming only once. Number 8 is coming only once. Number 1 is coming only once. So we found out like using two loop, we can see, okay, number 2 and number 3 is coming twice in this array. So it is like very time consuming. Like if I say the time complexity for that part is like n square because we are using two loop. Why we are using two loop? We are doing the comparison. So how we are doing comparison? I use one loop, I selected one element, I selected and I use another loop for the entire array. I see, I checked, okay, go and check the same number in this array. I'll say, okay, pick this number and see if you are repeating in this or not. So in that particular case, time complexity is order of n square, but space is order of 1. But it's not required here because the time is very much time consuming. You can say time complexity is very bad. What we can do, like this was our approach 1. I'll say, okay, this was our approach 1. We used brute force comparison, compare. Okay, how can we optimize bit less? So I'll say, okay, approach 2, what we can use? We can use something like what we used in the previous question, like you can say we can store the frequency of the number, how many times it came. So what you can use, like something like hash map, we can use. What we can do, I'll create a table or you can say a data structure where we have number and how many times it came. So I'll take count. I'll take the same example. Okay, I'll take 4 here. Okay, 4, how many time you came? 1. 3, how many time you came? 1. So I am just iterating over the array. I'm just taking the count of that one. So for every case, I'll say, okay, go and see how many times you came. So I'll simply take the number first. So 4 came once, 3 came once. So we are just checking for the first time, just take the frequency for the first time. So 4 came once, 3 came once, 2 came once, 7 came once, 7 came once, 8 came once, and now again, if you see, we have taken this first part for each. So this came once. Here, until here, it was 1. Again, we encountered 2. So what you see, like if you have encountered 2, what we'll do, we'll update the frequency of 2. So you can see I update this part. So now the frequency become what? I'll decrement, like increment this part, it will become 2. For again 3, I'll say, okay, you already present, just increment your count. And for 1, I'll add, okay, no, 1 is not came, its frequency is 1. So what you see, like we have created something called a hash map using extra space, and we have checked like, okay, just store the count or the frequency of the number. Again, I'll iterate, I'll see, okay, this number came twice, so it is a duplicate, or you can say number coming twice. So I'll return this part like, okay, this is my element which is coming twice. So that's what we are required to find, like which all number are coming twice. So I'll simply say, okay, this particular element having the frequency 2, it is coming twice. So you can see like here we have optimized the time complexity, but we increase the space complexity. I'll say like, okay, the time complexity is order of n for this one, but the space complexity also we have taken n for this one. But if you see, like they told you must need to write the algorithm in O n, which is linear, and the space should be constant. We are not allowed to use the space. Okay, so what we can do now, we need to optimize further. Okay, so I'll say, okay, approach 4, I'll say approach 4, not approach 3, I'll say. Okay, so what is approach 3? I'll say approach 3, I need something to do in place. I'll take this array again. Okay, I'll take this one, I'll say, okay, come here. What I'll do, like, I'll simply see the positions of the, see, and the number they told, like number of an element can go from 1 to n, and number can have one, like you can see the size of an array was n, number can go from 1 to n at max. So something is coming twice will be like repeating over this array. If something, we need to fill out 1 to n places, we'll start filling 1 2 3 4 till n. Something in between came twice, so will say like, okay, you are already present. So whatever is already present, we need to say, okay, you are the duplicate one, just store in the result set. So I'll say, okay, this is our array. What I'll do, I'll iterate over this array. Okay, see, go to your index, like I'll say just sit on your index. Okay, I'll say, okay, mark this element, I'll duplicate this part. What I'll do, I'll remove for the initial case, I'll remove this one, this all. What I'll say, okay, I'll take that particular index, like I'll iterate over all the indexes, and what I'll do, okay, for first index 4, just sit on your place. But you can see like the number is ranging from 1 to n, and our indexes start from 0 to n. You can say our indexing is starting from 0. So what I'll say, like, okay, take this number, go and sit one number less to your number. So the indexing will be like 3 for this, 2 for this, 1 for this, because we have like 7. You can say number is going from 1 to 8, and the size of an array is 0, like you can say indexing is 0 to 7. If you see, the indexing is 0 to 7, but the number is going from 1 to 8 because the number is going from 1 digit to n digit, and indexing we can have from 0 to n minus 1. So what I'll say, okay, go and sit to your place, go and sit to your place, because there will be n element in the array and number can go from 1 to n. But I'll say, okay, go and play sit to your index, which is one less. So I'll say, okay, 4, go to index 3, sit here. Okay, I'll say again, I'll iterate to the one, my index came here. I'll say, okay, 3, go and sit to your place. So I'll say, okay, 3 less than 1 is 2. So I'll say, okay, 3, sit here. I'll say 2, your index is 1, go and sit here. 7, your index is 6, go and sit here. 8, your index is 7, go and sit here. So what we are doing, I am taking element from the array. I am saying like, go and sit to your own index place. So because we have element, like we have n element in array that can go from 1 to n at max. So every number will be corresponding to its index. One can go and sit to one's index, two can go to place and sit on the two's index. But indexing is ranging from 0 to n minus 1. So we are just offsetting one index from each. We came till 8. Again, I'll take 2, like I came here now. I'll take 2, and I'll see, okay, you are already present. I'll say, number 2, go and sit to your index. But it is already there. So what we'll say, okay, you are coming twice, just store in the result set. So I'll store in the result like, okay, 2 came once, one more time, like you can say 2 came twice. Again, will iterate to 3, I say go and sit to your place. Here 3 is already there. I'll say okay, add to the result set, you are already there. And for number 1, okay, sit to this place. What we are doing, like we are just doing this in place. What will be doing, like we will be swapping this character. We are not using the extra space. You can see this, I created this array, but just for like showing you how we can do this, I will be like, what I will be doing, like I will be placing a negative character, or you can say I will be marking this element as visited, or I will be changing the polarity of this one, so I can find this I already encountered in somewhere in the array, and I will be like, you can say, placing that particular in some index. So you can see like we need something to say it is coming twice or thrice. So I'll simply come to Leetcode. I'll show you with the example of code, like how you can do, or how it is easy to do this in very like linear time and without taking extra spaces. So what will be having? We have some result array. Okay, where we need to find out which all element are coming twice or thrice. What I need to do, I need to iterate over all the array. So all the array means length of numbers. Number is our array. Now we'll find the index for that particular number. So we will be offsetting. So I will take absolute here because we will be marking the number as negative, as visited. So I'll take one number. I'll take any number from it, like array. I'll reduce one from here because our indexing is starting from 0 and number is starting from 1 to n. So I'll just decrement one from every number so I can place to its index. I'll say, okay, numbers at that index, you mean like the number inside that number. You can say if we take 4, so go and check to place 3. This is index 3 because the first number came here was 4. So I'll say, okay, go and check to index 4, index 3. If it is negative, what you need to do, we need to store this in a result because you already encountered this. I'll say, okay, absolute value again because we will be marking as negative. So it will be stored as negative if it is encountered twice. I'll say, okay, this number came twice. So I'll use, okay, this is my number. It came twice. What you need to do? I need to mark that number negative. So this is my number at that index. I need to do like, I'll say, okay, number, change your polarity to negative. So for doing that, what we can do, I'll multiply with -1. At last, I have result. I'll simply say, okay, result return. I'll see, okay, is it working or not? So if I say, is it working fine? You can see accepted. I'll submit this one. And if you see, this got accepted in very much like less time, and it is optimized because we are doing in linear time complexity without taking any extra spaces, and the result set is required, so we do not count this as an extra space because it is required by the, you can say, array. Like we need to return an array which contain duplicate elements. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching.